Welcome, everyone. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, and here we are in the Psychology of Eating podcast. I'm with Tanya today. Welcome, Tanya.
Welcome. Thank you.
Glad you're here. I'm glad we're doing this, and I have a very simple question to start out. If you could wave your magic wand and have whatever you wanted with your relationship with food and body, what would that be for you?
I would love to have a relationship with food and my body that was peaceful and at the same time somewhat proud of myself and confident in that relationship.
Okay, so what's your relationship with food like these days?
The opposite of those things. It is sort of a tortured existence where I definitely don't trust my body and my intuition with eating. And I'm always trying to follow this program or that program or do what's right and do the best I can. And it's not a natural relationship. It's a very controlled relationship.
Mm-hmm. So are you looking to lose weight?
Definitely not. Definitely need to, probably according to different dietitians and programs. And if you look statistics up, I need to go the other way. I need to gain weight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what they say, but what do you say in your mind when you look in the mirror?
In my mind, in the mirror, I apologize. I still see. I see a person who's underweight. I don't like how I look. I always want to have more muscle, more tone, a larger body. I'm not happy with how I look.
Mm-hmm. How long has it been that way for you?
I have been concerned with appearance, whether I'm close to some ideal standard or far from it, since I was probably like childhood, 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah. Have you gone through therapy before?
I have done like some mainly on my own as far as body image type things. I've gotten through some eating disorder course book type things because I have gotten myself down to a weight where it's too low. And I'm wondering, well, maybe I'm like anorexic type behavior somewhat. I'm not sure. But I haven't been in a program specifically for any type thing like that. I've done therapy for depression and anxiety and things like that.
Yeah. So when it comes to food, do you have like a regular approach to your diet? Like you're pretty much know what you're going to be eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Is that a challenge for you choosing what to eat? Like what's the experience of like every day being you and being an eater?
Being me and being an eater. I pretty much stick to a very rigid breakfast and lunch, almost the same every day. And then dinner is my main meal of the day, and it has variety and is pretty healthy and somewhat fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So commonly breakfast and lunch are, what do you have?
I usually have a like gluten-free, keto-friendly muffin with berries and nuts in it, with butter. And then lunch is usually a sandwich, or sometimes on a run-around day, protein bars and fruit. And then I usually have some sort of a snacks and then a vegetable type snack. And then dinner is our good meat, vegetable salad, try to avoid a bunch of I don't eat a lot of processed food. I don't eat a lot of grains. I don't know. I could easily go into it being obsessive about this food's bad, that food's bad. I could easily go into that type of a mindset.
Got it. How else does your mind like to torture you a little bit?
My mind likes to torture me with thinking that food is going to make me sick because I have a lot of digestive issues, constipation for ever. And that food, if I really ate what I wanted to, maybe I would actually, this is the anorexic portion, gain more weight than I want. So that does come in there.
So let me put that in my words. It sounds like there's a part of yourself, correct me if I'm wrong, that doesn't completely trust you around food.
Oh,
like,
completely.
Then here's the bad things that are going to happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I do not trust myself to eat in a way that is going to really make me healthy and thrive, or I don't trust myself to even be able to thrive, and my body's a reflection of that. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Are you married?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
28 years.
Good for you.
Long time. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Do you have kids?
We have one 21-year-old daughter. She is finishing her senior year at University of California, Irvine, and she's been finishing that from home since last March. Right. So she's upstairs in her room doing her finishing up her undergraduate studies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my husband's been home since March as well, running T-Mobile from the little office upstairs. So we've had a bit of a change since the pandemic began. It has for me, it's been good and a little stressful, both. But yeah.
What does your husband think about your challenges around food and body?
He tries to be really supportive, but he is at this point is a little bit like me, like frustrated. About a year and a half ago, I really decided I'm done with this. I want to let it go. I want to be free from all this unnecessary worrying about, I guess it might be appearance or about achievement. And I've read a bunch of books and tried to modify behavior and modify exercise patterns and enjoy movement and take life easier and all that type thing. But I'm kind of stuck. I mean, I've made some progress and I've learned a lot. But as far as the mindset, the voices and they just keep coming. I know neuro rewiring takes time and repetition, but it seems to take longer than I want it to take. So my husband is supportive, but he's kind of, he might be at a point right now where he's kind of had it. He's just kind of doing his thing and doesn't want to hear much more about it.
So let's say you had this handled and it's all behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you be?
That is a good question. Yeah. That I know that I want to be much more involved in my community and not feeling, not thinking about, almost like not thinking about myself and not thinking about food and exercise and eating and that so much. I want to be able to, be different, being more involved in things that are really meaningful, mainly at my church and with the schools. I'm not working right now, but that type, I want to be out. I want to play tennis again. I want to not be afraid of what life has to offer, and what I can contribute.
Mm. What limits you from playing tennis?
Um, you know, I nothing as far as physical limitations or anything like that. I don't know anybody to play with right now around here. Not part of a club, but it's just like nothing is. There's no reason that I can't do those things that I think about wanting to do. So it's something in my mind that's preventing me from taking risks and making changes.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. So, do you ever think of how long you want to live for?
I know I would love to see my daughter, see what becomes of her future, and be a grandma someday, maybe. And I sometimes think about that. I know my grandmother lived to be 99. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's a possibility. We have longevity in our family history. Yeah, I'd like to live a long time. I'd love to have my husband in a few more years retire and travel. And then, like I said, I want to be a part of making the world in which I live, like maybe not the big giant world as a whole, but having some impact on the local community and the people that I can see and touch and be a part of. Yeah.
Are your parents still alive?
They are.
How old?
77.
Are you close with them?
Close, but it's not the greatest relationship for me right now. My mom's very depressed and in poor health, and my father kind of, I think, contributes to it. And so it's not a uplifting relationship. It's a relationship where I am giving a lot and seeing a resistance to change. And that can be a good thing to recognize, because then I can say, oh, I don't want to do that in my own life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How's your daughter's relationship with food and body?
My daughter has a very complex relationship with food and body as well. Yeah, so does my mom and my dad. My daughter right now is overweight and trying to lose some weight. Actually, technically she should have lower body fat. It's not ideal. So she's a former pre-professional ballet dancer who had a bunch of injuries and had to stop, and then gained like 60 pounds in college and hasn't lost it yet, and is always struggling with that.
How was that experience for you, watching her go through that?
It is not easy for me. I'm aware of a lot of judgments that I make about it. I keep them to myself, but it is an anxiety thing. I'm aware of just how much kind of unknown bias I have against disliking being overweight, and the fear of that. Like, oh, if she could gain that weight, that could happen to me if I didn't control what I ate. Yeah.
And have you ever played this out in your mind? So what would happen if you did gain 75 pounds? What do you imagine would be, like, what would happen?
That's probably nothing really.
But what do you tell yourself? Or what do you imagine?
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
I know I wouldn't like how I look. I know I would feel more insecure overweight than underweight for some reason. Mm-hmm. And I know that feeling confident is a hard thing for me. It's just, I always have looked for external validation of myself. Mm-hmm. Whether it's, grades and achievements and being the best. And it kind of has gotten the last few years almost the realization that those things don't really matter. And then you get a little discouraged, depressed type thing where it's like, oh, nothing, you can't achieve what all these ideas that you once had. And so now it can, not the greatest spot in the world right now.
Okay. If you can categorize yourself as a fast eater, moderate eater, slow eater, where would you fit in?
Yeah, I'm doing better on that. I'm a moderate eater. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at the food and think about where it came from and appreciate it and be mindful and enjoy the colors and the textures and the taste. And that is helping. Yeah, that is one area that is kind of has been exciting and some improvement for sure.
Mm-hmm. I got some good news for you.
Okay, great.
I got some good news. I really think that you can turn this around.
Really?
Yes. Not only do I think you could turn it around, I actually think you can turn it around faster than you think.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey.
Now, the challenge is you're, 51, 52?
I turned 52 a week ago. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
So here you are, you're 52, and it feels like it's taken 52 years to get where you are now. Mm-hmm. And you even might have used the words before. You might have said, it's kind of slow going here, and it takes time to change your neural patterning. Yes and no. And to me, one of the advantages that you have right now going for you is your age, but more important, your archetype. And let me tell you what I mean by that. So oftentimes what I'll do is when I'm talking with someone about their relationship with food, I'm asking myself, where's this person at in their life cycle?
Okay.
Because we go through life cycles, you're an infant, you're a toddler, you're a 7-year-old, you're a 14-year-old, you're 21. There's certain demarcation points. We go through puberty. We have a certain shift at age 21. There's, in all the life cycle research out there, we go through different phase changes around 28, 29, 30, and so forth. So there's life cycle research, and there's also, I like to look at the archetypes, and I'm going to mention in general for you the archetype of princess and queen.
Oh, no. Okay.
Have you heard me talk about this before?
No, I have not.
Oh, goody.
So I haven't heard you talk about those ones.
Okay, so we're going to talk about princess and queen for a moment. Now, when I talk about princess and queen, I'm talking about them as archetypes, as timeless energies, timeless metaphoric forms. So you and I, and for many generations before us, we've heard stories, we've read stories of queens and kings and princes and princesses and witches, and those are all different archetypes, and they represent a certain part of us. So I'm going to make some generalizations about these archetypes. In the princess stage, and please, when I say princess, that's not an insult. It's not a pejorative term, because it's become a pejorative term. It's just a stage. It's just when a female is young, she's in the princess stage. And there are various stages of princesshood.
Yeah.
Up until, let's say, 21-ish is more of an early princess stage, and 21 to 30 might be middle princess, and 30 to 40 is late princess. And I often call 40 to 50 queen in training. You are no longer in the princess archetype, but you're not yet a queen. And in my approach, I like to call age 50 and upwards queen for a woman. Now, in the princess stage, the princess archetype, by its nature, it is looking to understand who it is by getting outside information about me. So
Okay.
you tell me who I am. You tell me that I'm pretty. You tell me that I have value. And if you tell me that I'm loved, I'm pretty, I have value, I'm lovable, you approve of me, then that's like good princess food.
Mhm.
You know, being a mom of a young woman, that there's times in life when your young girl, she just needs to know you're wonderful, you're
Mhm.
beautiful, you're great.
Right.
And when the princess hears that, she absorbs that, and that helps her along her journey. And at some point, that starts to shift. At some point, we begin to become more self referenced.
Mhm.
And we begin to notice, oh, actually, yeah, I don't really need you to tell me how wonderful I am. I know who I am. And the I know who I am flowers in the queen stage. Imagine for a moment, any sort of, Disney movie or other movie or TV show that you might have seen when there was a regal, honorable, wonderful, respectable queen.
Mhm.
And a queen sits in her throne, and a queen is very benevolent. A queen loves her, a good queen loves her queendom. A
Mhm.
good queen wants to protect her queendom, gives to her queendom. A queen is not sitting on her throne going, excuse me, everybody, but do I look okay? Does this gown look
Yeah.
nice? Do you like me? Do you think I should lose like 2 pounds from here? Like, if that
Right.
was your queen, you wouldn't have much confidence.
Mhm.
You would not follow her. You would not trust her. That kind of attitude or psychology is appropriate for the young princess.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, what happens? A couple of things happen in this day and age to both men and women, but right now we're talking about women. What happens is, because of the ways of the world, because of how the world teaches us,
Mhm.
the world tends to teach us that, we take our old people and we toss them aside. You don't have value as you get older. We tend to value in our media, in our images, we value the young ones. We value the young princesses
Yeah.
and the young princes. We give them all the goodies. We give them all
Mhm.
the accolades, particularly for the females.
Yeah.
You're given an image of here's what you're supposed to look like in body and in age. And if you look like that in body and in age, we love you, we accept you. Now, when the mind hears that, the mind goes, well, damn, I better not let go of that. And what happens is it's easy for a person, in this case, a woman, to hang out a little bit too long in the princess
Mhm.
stage, even though her timing, her clock, her body, her being is in the queen stage.
Mhm.
At its worst, the queen, who's still really internally a princess, she's just thinking all those same thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you love me? Am I okay? Remember the
Mhm.
fairy tale, the Princess and the Pea?
Yes.
Okay, now think about that for a second. It's all about how the young princess mind can get pulled into perfectionism, i.e., gets on the mattress and it's a little uncomfortable. Now she's sensing the little bean, the little pea under the mattress. So they put another mattress on top of that mattress. But she's still saying, no, 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 still not exactly perfect, still not right. Mattress upon mattress upon mattress. And nothing ever works because we get caught in the virus of perfectionism. I got to be perfect. This has to be perfect. If I'm perfect, everything's good. Now, you are a queen,
Mhm.
but your brain hasn't caught up with that yet.
Mhm.
So what I'm suggesting to you is, and you've done nothing wrong. And by the way, what I'm doing right now in my world is I'm pushing the fast forward
Mhm.
button on years of psychotherapy.
Yeah, I could feel that. I could sense that. Yeah.
Years of going into your past and talking about your mom and talking about your grandma and talking about what you went through as a
Yeah.
child, which none of that's bad. That's all useful. But you know something? You don't have the time.
Exactly. That's, yeah.
You don't have the
I can see
time, and
that.
you likely don't even have the energy to do that. So,
Or the need necessarily anymore.
yes,
Kind of done that. I've kind of done that and been there. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. So the next step for you is not about figuring out what's wrong with you, because what's happening is you are past the point where your psychology needs to figure out what's wrong and then go about fixing it. You know things that are wrong. You know how you want it to change. There's not much more you're going to find out that's going to be useful to you in that realm. Oh, yeah, this is how I think. No, you know how you think. You've been around you long enough. So there's actually nothing to fix. And to me, and I've seen women do this. This is not the first time I've been in this conversation. I want to save you years so you can have the rest of your life to be a queen. Now, before I say more, I want to reference something that you said that I just love so much. It just, you hit the bullseye. When I said to you, you know, have you thought how long you want to live and what you want to do? And one of the first things you said, in fact, the first thing you said about what you wanted to do in your life, you know, when you become the person that you want to be, your food issues are gone, your body issues are gone. The first thing you said was, I want to be more involved in my community. That's queen talking.
Yeah. Okay.
That's your queen. So your road to success ain't fixing anything that's broken. Your road to success is very simple in concept, and it is claiming your queenhood.
Yeah.
And claiming your queenhood means you directly and deliberately do activities and behaviors in your world that is indicative of what a queen does and what you as a queen do. So there's no reason for you to not be involved in your community today. There's no reason for you to not be involved in your church today. Says is going, this mattress ain't perfect. There's a pea under here. And when I'm perfectly comfortable, then I'm going to be the real me and then I'm going to relax. And you ain't never going to be perfectly comfortable. Okay. None of us are. Right. Yeah, you're going to have moments. But you're going to have moments where, you know, it ain't perfect. Life isn't perfect. So the more you step into your queenhood, the more the old princess voice in you just gradually begins to just wane. It just decreases by itself. You're not feeding it anymore.
Okay, yeah.
You are feeding your princess food every day by thinking, you know, I'm worried about my food. I'm worried about my body. Here's what's going to happen. Any judgments you have against you, about anybody else, about food or body or weight, that's just feeding the old young princess in you who was trained by the world. So you didn't invent this kind of thinking. This thinking was given to you by life, was given to you by your environment, friends, students, teachers, adults, media, all of it. So your job is simply to be the queen. And every single day, there is one question to ask yourself. What would the queen do right now?
Yeah, okay.
How would
That's really a different different way of phrasing how I look at things, and it really feels right. Yeah, what would the queen do? What, rather than the input of what I'm getting, the feedback from everyone else, or trying to fit a certain mold or standard. Yeah, I get it.
Because you are in your queen archetype. Your body and being and soul are hungering to live there.
Yeah.
And it's the natural place for you to live. So you have to start moving in to the queen's house. Here's the trick. As long as you and I are in our princess or prince stage, we're technically, psychologically, internally, I'm living in my parents' house. I'm being that child, I'm being that teenager, I'm being that kid who you were when you were whatever age, when this all began. So there's a part of you that's still going to be living in your parents' house, that's still living with your mother. Every time you go into all the talk about your body, about food, about the worry, about am I okay, what are people thinking, that's old conversation from when you were young that was understandable for when you're of princess young age. Your job is to move out of your parents' house psychologically.
Yeah.
The way you move out of your parents' house is not by rejecting your parents, it's not anything like that. All it is you claiming your adulthood, i.e., your queenhood. A queen doesn't live in somebody else's castle. She lives in her own castle.
Right.
Belongs to her and her king. So
Yeah.
this is a process, but you're going to move quicker than you think.
All right. Yeah.
Because
I hope so. Yeah.
When you ask yourself the question, what would the queen do? What would the queen eat right now? How would she eat? How would she sit? How would she carry herself? Is that what the queen would think as you find yourself in judgment? It might be helpful if you're the journaling kind of person.
Yeah.
To do some journaling and write down just a list, like an inventory, just a list of all the attributes that you imagine exists in an evolved womanly queen.
Yeah.
How is she in the world? How does she conduct herself? What is she like? Loving, kind, compassionate,
Right.
clear, decisive, inclusive.
Right.
Yeah. And that's an ongoing list. And that list is who you are and who you're becoming and who you're practicing being.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to fix. You're going to go, yeah, right. I have this old eating stuff. I have this old food and body stuff. It's been with me for a while. And right now, I'm going to just say, okay, food and body stuff, I'm going to put you right here, just right to the side. And in front of me, I put the queen.
Yeah.
So you're not fighting anything.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not in a fight. Heck, if
Right.
there might be a day when you're extra judgmental about yourself. And then you're going to ask yourself, okay, how does the queen handle that? The queen has compassion. She forgives herself. Nobody's perfect. A good queen is forgiving of imperfections.
That's true too. And while I'm really forgiving of other people, I have trouble forgiving myself. So that's a thing. Yeah.
So that is something that you grant yourself.
Okay.
Kings and queens can grant people. They can grant them land. They can grant them titles. They just give it because they're empowered to do so.
Yeah.
You can grant somebody a pardon if they've committed some offense. You give that to yourself. You give yourself forgiveness. Okay, wasn't my best day. That wasn't my best behavior. I grant myself forgiveness. I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm not going to beat me up. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to beat anybody up. Because I'm the queen and I got some more interesting and important things to do than beat myself up.
Right. More interesting and important things to do than beat yourself up, and more things to learn and to share. Yeah.
It's literally, Tanya, the world needs you.
I do believe the world needs everybody who's in it, or we wouldn't be in it. So,
Right?
yeah, right.
Right? So therefore the world needs you, and it's you with a capital Y. It's you who you really are.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You who you really are right now is the queen. And all the queen needs to do is show up. And you practice being the queen every day. So let's think of this as a practice. And every day you do baby steps, toddler steps, maybe sometimes some big steps that move you more and more in the direction of this is what a queen does. So if you want to be involved in your community, because that's what the queen in you does, then woo, it's time. There's nothing to wait for.
Mm-hmm.
Find a tennis partner.
Right.
Queen needs to play. Queen needs to be active if she wants to.
Yep, the queen does need to have some fun in life, which is another area that has been kind of shut down for a while. Yeah.
Yes, and queen needs to show up for her king.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband, I don't know him, and I haven't asked enough questions, but my guess is from what you said, he's a good man. And he's been by your side around the food and body stuff, and he kind of pulled back a little bit from it because he's figured out that he can't do anything.
That's true. Yeah.
Which is correct. He can't.
That is right. Yeah. He's a problem solver person in the world, and this is a problem that it's not his problem and he can't solve it. So it's
bingo.
Yeah.
So you've heard the term, ascending the throne. So a king or a queen ascends their throne. It's not like you wake up one day and somebody goes, oh, here's this beautiful kingdom or queendom, and here's all these lands and these palaces and these goods and these treasures. We ascend the throne. Ascending the throne means I am stepping up. I am making efforts.
Yeah.
I am being directive. I am choosing my path. Previously to this conversation, you haven't so much been choosing your path because you've been wobbly because of the food and body stuff. It just makes you wobble. You don't trust yourself.
Yeah.
The one fundamental that a good queen or king has is that they trust themselves. They make decisions.
Uh-huh.
They make decisions and they stand by those decisions. Now, sometimes you might not make the best decision, but once again, a good queen or king is wise enough to know I'm human. Ouch, wasn't the best decision. Who do I need to apologize to, including myself?
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't about being perfect, because kings and queens are not perfect. However, they are sitting on their throne and they're doing the best job to be the best queen that they can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're now choosing to trust your choices.
Mm-hmm. Trust your choices, and try to a little bit get in touch with a little bit of intuition and to trust that. Yeah.
Because listen, it doesn't matter what you eat, you're going to die. Every diet, no matter how good it is, every nutritional approach, no matter how good it is, results in death.
That's true. Every course, every diet, every exercise program, the human experience ends. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's really about who you are in between the time you die and the time you're born, and how you're showing up. And this is your time to show up.
Right. And time to show up, to share, to kind of thrive and to some extent actually be okay with enjoying life. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing how this is a natural conversation that you and I are having. You're getting it. You're not resisting it. It feels right to
No,
you
it really does. Yeah.
because you know inside, yeah, this is who I am. This is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how life works. That's how the wisdom of life works. It's your stage, it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
And your next step is not to fix anything, it's just to start to claim that. You ascend your throne, you do your queenly activities. Again, always asking the question, what would the queen do here? What will the queen do today? When you're dealing with your daughter, how would a good queen address this?
Yeah.
Hint with your daughter.
Yes.
Don't try to change her.
I'm not. I am not. I mean, in my mind, sometimes I think I wish she would do this and that, but I don't. It's still in my mind. I don't say it out loud. So that's one good step. Yeah.
Just keep loving her. Just keep loving her, and because that's the reality. The reality is, if she lost 10 pounds, you'll still love her. If she lost 60 pounds, you'll still love her. If
she gained 50, I would still love her.
It doesn't matter. You still love her.
Yeah.
Same with you. You know, you're still going to love you. A queen stands by herself, stands alongside herself, does not abandon herself. Abandoning self means, oh my God, I ate that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm such an idiot. I'm such a jerk. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to die. Or, oh, there's something wrong with me. That's a self-abandonment.
Yeah.
If your friends started saying to you everything that you say in your head to you, they wouldn't feel like such good friends.
Right.
It wouldn't feel like they were standing by you. It would feel like they're criticizing you and critiquing you and picking at you and just making your life unhappy. So when you go into your critical mind, and when you spin into all the places you can spin into around food and body, it is a form of disembodiment.
Yeah, okay.
Meaning you're living in your head in those moments. You know, there are people, you've probably seen them. There sometimes, and sometimes we just go through phases in life where we live in our heads, and the body's like a life support system for our head.
Yeah. Okay.
And when you spin out into thoughts and the worry and the upset, you are not in your body. And when you're not in your body, you can't be embodied on earth as who you are. So part of you stepping into your queenhood and healing and transforming your body image is simply embodying more, like actually being in your body. So when I'm training my professionals, I have a very simple statement. It's a guideline. It's more like a 10 commandments, that the royal road to healing an unhappy body image is embodiment, meaning get into your body.
Right.
Go play tennis. Go get a massage. Be present when you eat food and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take a walk. You know, be in your body when you're walking your dogs.
Okay. Yeah, I think when you're saying that, it brought up the idea that do I like my body? Am I comfortable in my body? And definitely not really. No. And it's almost like a thing that I'm not in and at peace and respectful and loving my body. Yeah.
So that's your new practice, is baby steps of being born into your body. So this is another definition of being born again, because we're born once And when you pop out of mama's womb, here you are, you're in your body. But an infant isn't really in their body so much. Being in your body means you start to learn how to walk. Well, first, you learn how to crawl. That's learning how to be in your body. Then walking is learning how to be in your body. Tying your shoes is learning how to be in your body. Feeding yourself is learning how to be in your body. And at some point, it's just everything you do, the simple things in life. Sitting down, being in your body. Just, I'm here, I'm present. And sort of the thoughts allow you to just drop in, and here you are.
Okay. Oh. Wow. I am really, really thankful and impressed with your whole quick analysis or take on where I'm at, because it really hit home, and I can see see how this is going to help move me to where I want to be. Yeah. It's really amazing. It's like, wow. Yeah. Huh.
It's in what's happening, I think, is you're giving yourself permission to finally go where you know you belong.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that knows who you are, that knows who your fullest expression is. It's just that so much of your internal activity, your mind, has been focused on the problems, and you haven't yet focused on, wait a second, here's who I am and here's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I really mean this, I have all the confidence in you, because you got it right away. And you're ready. You're just so ready. All I see is you're ready.
Yeah, I am. So that's neat. Now, I ask about like doing your course. Would that be? I think it could be really fun, and I love learning about this field. So maybe that would be a good step forward. Or
you would learn a ton.
Yeah.
You'd learn a ton. You would learn a ton. It would be great. It would be supportive. Supportive for you, and for you, and how you deal with friends or loved ones or anybody that you choose to coach or counsel.
It might be an area in which I can help some of the just wonderful young women that are all in my daughter's world who struggle with some of this stuff. This is one of the best ways you can help them, Tanya, is for you personally to step into who you are. Who I am, yeah.
And for you to step into your queenhood, because then you're leading by example.
Yeah. Right.
You're showing them.
Leading by example is the best way to lead, that's for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with you.
I'm impressed with you. Well, I knew I would be, but having a personal talk with you is just amazing. So no wonder you're so successful in all that you do. It's really, really great. Yeah.
Well, I love this work. And, God gives us the talents that we have.
Right. That's true.
You have your gifts that life is wanting you to give. And that's, I think, the keys to being a good king, a good queen, is we just push the pedal to the metal on giving our gifts. And things start to take care of themselves.
Neat. Okay. Yeah. All right. Wow. What a great morning, end to the morning for me, and afternoon, I guess, your time, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I so appreciate you being willing to be in this conversation. I really do.
Thank you. Well, I do hope it helps a lot of people listening, or when it gets posted and stuff. Yeah.
I bet it will.
Okay. I look forward to working with you some more and doing that program. I'm going to register for that.
Great, Tanya.
Okay.
I look forward to meeting you again in it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Care. You too. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Lots more to come.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care. And remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.